Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey, and here let's check out the top new games made with Unity for February 2022. This month was actually really difficult to pick just 10, I saw at least 20 games that looked super interesting. The indie game scene is truly amazingly varied. Regardless of what you're into, there's tons of awesome games for just about everyone. If you want to be a successful indie game developer, you need to keep up to date with what's coming out. I make these videos once a month so I can learn which games are finding success. All of these games are uniquely impressive, so the list is in no particular order, except for the number 1 game that is my personal pick of the month. Also, there's affiliate links in the description for some of the games. By the way, just a quick mention, the Scathe Humble bundle was extended but ends in just one day. If you haven't picked it up yet, I would highly recommend you get it. Tons of super high quality assets that enable you to make hundreds of unique games, all for an extremely cheap price. There's less than 24 hours left, so definitely get it now. Alright, so starting off at number 10 with a really awesome one, both awesome in terms of design as well as in tech. Here is Diplomacy is Not an Option. Right away you can see the massive scale of the battles, features thousands of units. This one is a castle defense game, and the reason why this one is awesome in terms of tech is because this might be the very first fully released game using Unity dots. This is exactly the example of a game that would not be possible without dots. This massive scale is truly insane. And even though Entities is still technically in development, and there haven't been any public updates in over a year, it's actually getting a massive update sometime soon, but despite that, all of the reviews are all very positive with over 1500 reviews. So what that tells me is that even though the game is using some unproven, potentially unstable technology, it's apparently stable enough that the players are not encountering any weird bugs. And of course the game itself also looks awesome. Personally, I'm always a fan of massive battles, and this game certainly provides that. And up next we have Tiny Combat Arena. The description for the game starts off by calling it an approachable combat flight simulator game. For me that's very important. I'm a fan of planes and flying games, but I'm not much of a fan for those hardcore simulations. Really, I just want to fly a plane and have some fun, which appears to be exactly what this game is about. It also has a nice stylized look, which helps make it look much less intimidating. You can dogfight to other pilots or provide support to your units on the ground by dropping bombs on enemy tanks. Take part in a vast war with objectives and friendly armies to support. Then for something very colorful, here is OlliOlli World. It's a skateboard action platformer. You can flip and flow through this vibrant world and meet colorful characters as you grind, do some tricks and get some air. This one is the third entry in this series, and based on the review it continues to be excellent. You can take things casually and just have some fun, or you can compete against rivals with a hugely deep combo system with over 100 moves to master. Or maybe if that's too cheery for you and you want something quite a bit more darker, here is Blood West. It's an immersive horror stealth FPS game set in the Wicked Wild West. It's got a really nice visual, very much a PS1 style with some low poly models and pixelated textures. Lots of twisted demons and eldritch warriors for you to fight. And of course you've got a nice arsenal of all kinds of Wild West weapons at your disposal. The action is a mixture of slow and steady during stealth, and then some massive intense action after you're discovered. Personally, I really like how the weapons are huge and right in front of the camera. It really enhances the intense feeling, making you feel much more vulnerable. By the way, if you find the video helpful, please hit the like button. It's a tiny thing, but it really does help. Thanks. Then something very unique and also looks like quite a bit of fun. Here is Model Builder. It's a game all about building and customizing model vehicles. You slice open the box, grab the parts and put them all together. You can build tanks, mechs, cars, planes and much more. Once they are built, you can take your time and apply a nice coat of paint. Then you place your models on your shelf for all the world to admire. Certainly a very unique game, but despite being what I would assume as somewhat niche, it already has tons of very positive reviews, so lots of people are really enjoying it. Up next, if you're a fan of the cold, then check out Arctico. It's a nice exploration game with some crafting and building mechanics. Explore the Arctic with your dog sled team, use your kayak and your parachute, gather some resources, do some experiments and build up your base. The game certainly has a zen-like quality, so if you just want to build things in peace and don't want to fight any monsters, then maybe give this one a go. For some VR, here is Scathe. It's a dungeon crawler RPG. Use many spells, weapons and even an environment against your deadly foes. Dodge some fireballs by moving out of the way, use melee weapons like you would expect, but also do some magic by doing some gestures with your hands. The enemy bosses look really powerful. They've got some attacks that really look like they have some serious impact, and it even has some chest mimics. So I guess if you wanted something similar to Dark Souls but in VR form, then this is it. Then for a game that kind of proves how a good title with a good concept is a great way to make your game much more marketable, here is Mechs V Kaijus. Just based on the name, I'm already very interested. You play as the commander of a mech army, kaijus are attacking, and it's up to you to defend. Equip and improve your mech, place down some towers and factories right on the battlefield, deploy support units, and hold back the kaiju horde. Then for something which just came out of early access, here is Home Behind 2. I actually think I might have covered this one before in this series, probably when it went into early access. Now it's finally fully out, with over 5,000 very positive reviews. The game is a roguelike RPG. You'll lead your group of revolutionary fighters and try to overthrow the brutal authoritarian regime. Features side-by-side action, very much like Darkest Dungeon, although this one is in real time with a technical pause. There's also some vehicle sections with some top-down combat, so it's got a nice mix of mechanics. You've got tons of weapons, armor, skills, and lots of random events to test your skills. And finally, at number 1, for my personal pick of the month, here is Power to the People. I've been interested in this one since I saw some random GIF on Twitter. Personally, I love games about logistics, especially when they focus on just one thing instead of having to build an entire city. So with this one, as you can tell by the very clever name, this one is all about electricity. The city starts off small with not much need in terms of power, but cities grow, so as it grows, so does the energy needs. It's up to you to build and keep building the electrical grid to stay up to date with the city's demands. Features lots of buildings to provide and transfer power, so you can go with nuclear or maybe some renewables, or maybe even try sticking with fossil fuels. And of course, the only challenge is not just the city growing, there's also the threat of natural disasters that threaten to destroy your grid. So build up your infrastructure, make sure it works, make sure it's enough, and keep it running. Alright, so that's 10 awesome new games made with Unity and launched in February 2022. There's links in the description for some of the games. Those are affiliate links, so if you use them, it's the same price to you, and I'll also be supporting the channel. Check out the full playlist to see some more awesome games made with Unity, and let me know in the comments what you've been playing. Alright, hope that's useful. Check out these videos to learn some more. Thanks to these awesome Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.